Well, state health officials are asking lawmakers for nearly $70 million to keep Wisconsin's FoodShare program on track. They say federal changes bring costs to the state and could cost taxpayers more if the program doesn't receive the proper funds. According to the Wisconsin Department of Health Services, the request is tied to changes under the federal One Big Beautiful Bill Act, which requires states to keep food share error rates below 6% or face steep financial penalties. DHS says Wisconsin has historically capped one of the lowest error rates in the country, but maintaining that standard requires staffing and resources. Now, back in August, the department asked lawmakers for $69.2 million. They say this is an investment needed to keep the quality of the program.
We needed these resources yesterday, and delaying this investment hurts Wisconsin and hurts the people who rely on our state to help them when they need it the most.
Some federal changes are already in effect, including new error rate penalties, while larger administrative cost shifts and a 25% cut in federal funding begin in October of this year. State officials say benefits have not changed and the department does not get the funding. It will not impact food share recipients in any way.